Right, so the session which we are going to discuss now is basically quality control, which is one of the important topics under the CL1 auditing syllabus. So basically these are the session outlines which we are going to discuss now. So we will be talking about introduction, then what do you mean by quality control, then the steps or the requirements which is applicable to quality control, plus the advantages of quality control. Right, this is one of the critical standards in your syllabus and out of the auditing standards when you consider all the auditing standards. So this auditing standard is one of the largest standards in your syllabus, clear? And I do have a relationship with this standard since 2008. Okay, 2008 ඉඳන් මට මේ standard එකත් එක්ක මොකද්ද තියෙන්නේ? සම්බන්ධතාවයක් තියෙනවා. Then sometimes you might ask a question why you are basically having a relationship with the standard කියලා. But that is not what I meant to. Basically I still remember when I was doing my chartered final level, I'm a firm believer that if you want to become a chartered accountant, okay, so if you want to become a chartered accountant, you need to have that element of luck. You need to have that element of luck, Puta. You may be 99.99999% talented, but you need to have that 0.0000 කොයර කෙරෝලක එකක් තියෙනවනේ 100%. That element of luck has to be there. Okay, එහෙම නැත්නම් ඔයාට කවදාවත් chartered accountant කෙනෙක් වෙන්න බෑ. I'm a firm believer on that. Okay, so I basically believe that if I can become a chartered accountant, all the people can. මට පුළුවන් වුණා නම් chartered accountant කෙනෙක් වෙන්න ඔය ඔක්කොමලට පුළුවන්ද බැරිද? පුළුවන්. Clear? So that element of luck has to be there. Okay, so if not, a people who initially played in a band will not become a chartered accountant. Okay, මම O level කරන එක එහෙම chartered accountant කෙනෙක් වෙන්න කියන උමනාවක් මට ඒ කාලේ තිබුණේ නැහැ. Okay, I was playing in a western band, drums. ඊට පස්සේ ඒක හරි ගියේ නැහැ. ඊට පස්සේ chartered පටන් අරන් ඔහොම ඉස්සරහට ගියා. Right, clear? So I still remember when I was doing my final level 2 exam in April 2008. When I was doing my final level in 2008, April, at that time they referred as final level 2. Final level 2. So we had a very easy paper called auditing. Final level 2 එකේ කාලේ audit paper එක මාර ලේසි. ඒ කියන්නේ 100ක් ලියවම 10 පාස් වෙන්නේ. එච්චරට මේ paper එක ලේසි. So when we are analyzing the past papers, normally අපි අරගෙන බලනවානේ මොන මොන පාඩම් වලින්ද ප්‍රශ්න අහලා තියෙන්නේ කියලා. So this standard at that time 25 marks came from this standard. එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් අහලා දුන්න ලකුණු 25කට මේ standard එකෙන්ම අහලා තිබුණා. So when you analyze the past 5 or 6 years past papers, you will get to know the trend of the paper. So we myself and my friends, we studied this standard a lot. Okay, මේක ඇත්තටම කාලා ගිය ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් එක එක්සෑම් එකේදී මම ආරලා ලියන්න විතරයි තිබුණේ. A to Z no. Then once I receive the paper, I just see whether there is a question from this standard. Luckily 25 marks, a question is there from the area which I know perfectly in the standard itself. Clear? ඒක නිසා I'm having a very good relationship with this standard. So this standard basically puts the initial foundation for me to become a chartered accountant. Clear? Right. Okay. Quality control for an audit of financial statement, SLAuS 220. So this is basically a collaboration of two areas. Okay, this is a collaboration of two areas. This is basically one standard, which is SLAuS 220. Then standard of quality control 001. So it will be covered under this chapter as well. Clear? Right. Okay. We will be continuing this session discussion in a short, in a form of a short note, but we'll try to get a basic understanding on this first. Right. Okay, so the objective of the audit firm is to establish and maintain a system of quality control that provide a reasonable assurance. Reasonable assurance, two things are very important. The firm and its personnel comply with professional standards and applicable legal and regulatory requirements. This is number one. Okay, so the firm and the personnel should comply with the professional standards. Should comply with the professional standards. So what do you mean by professional standards in simple language? What do you mean by professional standard in simple language? It's basically ethics, which we discuss. Ethics and applicable legal and regulatory requirements. That is number one. Okay, so the firm and the personnel should comply with professional standards and applicable legal and regulatory requirements. That is number one. Number two, the reports issued by the firm or the engagement partner. Okay, so the reports issued by the firm or the engagement partner has to be appropriate in the circumstances. So these are the two critical things that you need to identify when we are talking about quality control. Clear? So when we are talking about quality control, basically these are the two key areas where your high attention needs to be devoted to. Number one, the firm and the personnel should comply with the professional standards and other applicable and regulatory requirements. That is number one. Number two, the reports issued by the firm or the engagement partners has to be appropriate appropriate in the circumstances. Clear? Okay, so those are the two critical areas where you need to have a in detail understanding before we talk about this standard further. Clear? Right. Then when you talk about quality control can be segregated into two different parameters. Okay? Quality control can be segregated into two different parameters. Number one, you need to concentrate on the quality control from the overall audit firm perspective. You need to consider about the quality control from the overall perspective of the audit firm. That is number one. Number two, you need to take the quality control based on the individual audit level. එතකොට quality control කියන එක firm එකක් විදිහට total බලන්න ඕනේ. Individual audits අරගෙනත් අපි one by one බලන්න ඕනේ. So for an example, if you take, so from this point we will be starting the short note, right? So we'll take an example. Let's say there is an audit firm called Ernst & Young, EY, where I previously worked, covering my articles, right? So when you look at from the overall perspective, concentrate. So when you look at from the overall perspective, the audit firm should have quality control procedures. Should have quality control procedures. Agreed? That is what you referred as what? Overall audit firm level. Audit firm එක සමස්තයක් විදියට ගත්තට පස්සේ ඒ සමස්ත විගණන ආයතනය තුල තත්ත්වපාලනයේ සම්බන්ධයෙන් වැඩපිළිවෙළවල් තියෙන්න ඕන. So we are now considering the entire audit firm as one unit. Clear? Number two, let's say John Keels is one of the audit which is currently handled by EY, and LOLC is one of the audits which is currently handled by EY. So then you need to take the individual audits out. You need to take this individual audits out and see the procedures that you need to implement in order to provide a good quality service. That is what you referred as what? Individual audit level. Clear? So when you talk about quality control can be implemented in two different stages. So what are those two different stages? Number one, when you consider the overall perspective of the audit firm, you can implement the quality control procedures. That means you are taking the entire audit firm as one unit. Clear? For an example, it's like this. If you take corporate level 1 as one pillar, okay, so if you concentrate on corporate level 1 as one pillar, there are 4 subjects. No? Agree? So there are 4 subjects. So once you consider all these 4 subjects together, which is considered as corporate level 1. Corporate level 1 basically equals to overall firm level. Agreed? So if you want to complete corporate level 1, you should have policies and procedures placed to achieve that objective. Clear? That is what you referred as what? Overall audit firm level. Clear? Then you will be taking the FRG subject out. You will be taking the advanced audit and assurance subject out. And you will be taking the management accounting subject separately. And you will be focusing on those areas separately, those subjects separately. That is what you referred as what? Individual audit level. Okay, so the quality control can be achieved at the overall firm level as well as at the individual audit level. Okay, so you can't say overall audit level number 1, individual audit level number 2. එහෙම කියන්න බෑ. You can't say individual audit levels number 1, overall number 2. එහෙම කියන්නත් බෑ. It's a collaboration of overall audit firm level as well as what? Individual audit level. Clear? So for an example, when you say that you have completed corporate level 1, it implies that you have completed the individual subjects. Yes or no? When you say that I have completed corporate level 1, it implies that you have completed all the 4 subjects. Agreed? Then when you say that I have completed the 4 subjects, it implies that you have completed what? Corporate level 1. Corporate level 1 එක ඉවරයි කියන්නේ individual subjects එක ඉවරයි. Individual subjects ඉවරයි කියලා කියන්නේ corporate level 1 එක ඉවරයි. Agreed? So you can't demarcate. This is number 1 and this is number 2. You can't say this is number 1 and this is number 2. It's a collaboration, aggregation of overall firm level as well as what? Individual audit level. Clear? So for an example, if you implement quality control procedures at the overall audit firm level, it will have a positive impact to the individual audit level as well. Agreed? Yes or no? Then when you implement quality control procedures at the individual audit level, it will have a positive impact to overall audit firm level as well. So it's a collaboration, aggregation of overall firm level plus the individual level. Clear? Yes or no? Yes. Are we clear up to that point? Clear? Right. Okay. Fine. From that note, we'll concentrate on the short note. Right. අද මට මේ ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් එක සම්පූර්ණයෙන් ඉවර කරන්න බැරි වෙයි, but we'll try to finish at least the individual audit level. Right. Okay. Right. When you talk about objectives of quality control, when you talk about objectives of quality control, there are main 2 objectives. When you talk about quality control objectives, there are main 2 objectives. Number 1, firm plus, let's say, personnel comply with professional standards and applicable regulatory requirements. That is number 1. Number 2, the reports issued by the firm or partners should be appropriate based on the circumstances. Clear? Okay, so those are the 2 objectives. Those are the 2 objectives of quality control procedures. Those are the 2 objectives of quality control procedures. Agreed? Yes or no? Right. So in that context, quality control procedures can be implemented individual audit level and overall audit firm level. Individual audit level and overall audit firm level. Okay, so the quality control procedures can be implemented in overall audit firm level as well as individual audit level. Clear? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. In simple language, what do you mean by quality control procedures? In simple language, what do you mean by quality control procedures? Simple language again gattot. What do you mean by quality control procedures? Don't take it complicated. So what do you mean by quality control procedures? In simple language, what do you mean by quality control procedures? මොකක්ද අපි කතා කරන්නේ quality control procedures කියලා in simple language. Okay, elaborate a little bit further. What do you mean by quality control procedures?
To achieve that objective.
Okay.
Audit firm have individual and overall level procedure.
Okay, so what do you mean by quality control procedures? What do you mean by quality control procedures? So what is the end objective of audit firm? What is the end objective of the audit firm? So for an example, what is the end objective of JMC? What is the end objective of JMC? For this class, what is the end objective of JMC? JMC එකේ මේ පන්තියට අදාළව end objective එක මොකක්ද? ළමයින්ව කොහොම හරි පාස් කරන එක. Agreed? To provide the highest level of service at the highest standard with the objective of passing the students from the exam. Agreed? So that is why they have provided this infrastructure facilities. Yes or no? That is why they have hired lecturers. That is why they have given you the tutors. That is why they have provided us what? These types of smart boards. මේ ඔක්කොම කළා බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ exam එක pass කරවන්න ළමයා. Yes or no? Clear? Alright. Likewise, so what is the end objective of audit firm? Provide their assurance services or provide their whatever services with the highest standard. Yes or no? Providing their services, it may be assurance services or non-assurance service. Providing their services to the highest level of standard. Yes or no? In that context, what do you mean by quality control? In simple language, what do you mean by quality control? Quality controls can be defined as the policies, procedures, programs, implemented by the audit firms to provide the services at the highest level. Agreed? So the policies, procedures, programs, steps implemented by the audit firms are to provide the services at the highest level or highest standards. Agreed? That is what you referred as what? Quality control. Clear? Yes or no? Yes. These can be implemented in 2 stages. What is number 1? As we discuss, individual audit level. Number 2, so what do you mean by individual audit level? What do you mean by individual audit level? Considering the individual audits separately. Considering the individual audits separately. So you are taking the individual audits out and you are basically taking policies, procedures, programs to uplift the standards of the services which you are providing. Clear? Yes or no? Number 2, at the overall audit firm level. Overall audit firm level. Here you will be considering entire audit firm as one single unit. Agreed? Clear? Yes or no? Yes. Right. Okay, what do you mean by quality control? What do you mean by quality control? Quality control procedures can be defined as procedures which designed by the audit firm at the overall firm level, overall audit firm level, as well as at the individual audit level. To enhance the quality of the professional services which the firm provides to client. Agreed? Yes or no? These are the procedures, processes, steps, programs which is designed by the audit firm at the overall firm level as well as the individual audit level to enhance what? Quality of the professional services. So what do you mean by professional services? It can be an assurance service. It can be assurance service, if not non-assurance service. It can be assurance service or it can be a non-assurance service which the firm provides to whom? Provides to the client. Agreed? Yes or no? Yes. Any questions up to this point? Any questions? No. Right. Before we proceed with the standard further, we need to understand critical 2 points. Number 1, what do you mean by an engagement partner? What do you mean by an engagement partner? And what do you mean by EQCR? EQCR. What do you mean by EQCR? Engagement Quality Control Review. මේ දෙක ඉගෙන ගන්න ඕනේ. පැහැදිලිද? කවුද engagement partner කෙනෙක් කියලා කියන්නේ? මොකද EQCR කියලා කියන්නේ? Right. In simple language. Okay, before we concentrate on this, let's take an example. Let's say there is an audit firm called ABC. There is an audit firm called ABC where let's say there are 3 partners. A, B, C. There are 3 partners. Clear? Let's say this audit firm is handling audits of 3 companies. Let's take. Okay, let's take XYZ. MNO. Then PQR. Okay. These are the audits which is handled by this audit firm. Clear? Right. මේ හැම audit එකක්ම 3 දෙනාම එකතු වෙලා කරන්න කියොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? මේ හැම ඔඩිට් එකම මේ තුන් දෙනාම එකතුලා කරන්න ගියොත් වැඩේ හරියයිද? No. It will not. So therefore these three partners agreed individually, right? A is agreed, so I will be taking care of XYZ, which is one of my client. Clear? Then B is basically focusing on MNO. Clear? Then C is focusing on PQR. මේ තුන් දෙනාම ඔක්කොම මැදිහත් වෙලා තුනම කරන්න යන්නේ එක එකනා clients ලා බෙදාගෙන right මම මේ audit එක responsibility එක ගන්න. So I will be taking the responsibility of this and I will be taking the responsibility of this. Agreed? In that context, A is considered as the engagement partner for the audit of XYZ. Clear? B is considered as the engagement partner for the audit of MNO. C is considered as the engagement partner for the audit of PQR. Clear? So then what do you mean by an engagement partner? Engagement partner is a partner who will be responsible to sign off the audit report of a particular client. එතකොට XYZ එකේ audit report එක sign off කරන්න ඕනේ A. Agreed? MNO එකේ MNO audit report එක sign off කරන්න ඕනේ B. C sign off කරන්න ඕනේ PQR. So from XYZ perspective, A is considered as their engagement partner. Clear? MNO perspective, B is considered as their engagement partner. Clear? From PQR perspective, C is considered as whom? Considered as engagement partner. Clear? Right. What do you mean by engagement partner? The partner or other person in the audit firm who is responsible for the audit engagement and the performance and for the auditor's report that issued on behalf of the firm, that person is referred as whom? Referred as engagement partner. Clear? So engagement partner is a partner who will be responsible for the particular engagement and the performance of the engagement and for the auditor's report which has been issued by the audit firm. Clear? That is what you referred as whom? Referred as engagement partner. Clear? Yes or no? Yes. Right. Any questions up to this point? Any questions? Right, are we clear on this as well? Right, okay. Then, my question to you is this. Okay, my question to you is this. Let's say, I want an honest opinion. Don't concentrate on this. Right. Let's say, what is the end objective of coming to this class? To pass the exam. So you may be having some ancillary objectives, but the main objective is to pass the exam. Okay? Right. Let's say, apart from the past papers or the questions which I am discussing in the classroom, apart from the past papers or the questions which I am discussing in the classroom, let's say, one of the students basically write an answer for a question paper by himself or herself, and that student is giving those answer sheets to me to review it. Okay? කවුරු ළමයෙක් Taman තනියෙන් paper එකක් කරලා එයා මට paper එක ගෙනල්ලා දෙනවා වැරදි අඩුපාඩු ටික බලලා කියන්න කියලා. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? It's a good thing. Why? You are basically improving. Clear? You're basically improving. තේරුණාද? දැන් ක්ලාස් එකේ නිදාගත්තත් ගෙදරදී පේපර් එකක් කරලා ගෙනත් දෙන්න පුළුවන්ද බැරිද? පුළුවන්ද බැරිද? පුළුවන්. ඒ කියන්නේ ක්ලාස් එකේ නිදාගත්තත් පන්ති කියලා දෙන වෙලාවට බට් ගෙදරදී පේපර් එකක් කරලා ඒ ළමයට ගෙනත් දෙන්න පුළුවන්ද බැරිද? පුළුවන්කමක් තියෙනද? එහෙම ගෙනල්ලා දුන්නොත් මම ඒක බලලා දෙනවද නැද්ද? Yes or no? Yes. So what is the end objective? To improve yourself. හරිද? එතකොට ඔයාලට ඒකෙන් වැරදි අඩපාර ටික හොයාගන්න පුළුවන්. Right. Okay. So the same principle applies here. They say the same principle applies here. Okay? Right. What do you think about this situation? What do you think about this situation? Right. Let's say A is an engagement partner of XYZ audit firm. Sorry, XYZ company. A is the engagement partner for the XYZ audit. Okay. Concentrate. Before releasing the audit report, concentrate on this. Before releasing the audit report, before releasing the audit report, A can request, concentrate, A can request either B or C. A can request either B or C to have an independent evaluation. To have an independent evaluation. To have an independent evaluation about the audit which he and his team carried out. Concentrate. A can request either B or C to have an independent evaluation on the work which he and his audit firm audit team conduct with regard to this XYZ prior to releasing the audit report. Agreed? Yes or no? So when you are doing this independent evaluation, sometimes either B or C may check the working papers, if not the documents. Working papers. Then the procedures performed. Significant judgments. Judgments made. Then significant issues identified in the audit. Likewise, either B or C can have an independent evaluation with regard to the work which A and his audit team carried out with regard to this client. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? It's a good thing. Okay? Why? Sometimes these gentlemen will see the issues in a different angle, which sometimes this partner is not think of. මෙයා නොදැක්ක පැත්තක් මේ දෙන දකින්න පුළුවන්ද බැරිද? දකින්න පුළුවන්. Agreed? That is what you referred as what? EQCR, Engagement Quality Control Review. Engagement Quality Control Review. What is the precondition? This has to be done before releasing the audit report. Okay, audit report release කරාට පස්සේ වැඩක් නැහැ. Before releasing the audit report, at the review stage, final stage, an independent person can do a independent evaluation with regard to the work which the engagement partner and his team performed with regard to a particular client. Agreed? Yes or no? B can request the same thing from either A or C. Yes or no? C can do the same thing. C can request the same thing either from A and B. End of the day, as firm or as individual level, you will be improving the quality of the services which are provided to the client. Yes or no? End of the day, as audit firm, at the individual level or at the overall audit firm level, you will be basically improving your service standards to the next level. Agreed? That is what you referred as what? EQCR. ඔයා මට තනියෙන් පේපර් එකක් ගෙනල්ලා බලන්න දුන්නොත් මට ඒ පේපර් එක බලවට අඩුපාඩු පෙන්නලා දෙන්න පුළුවන්ද බැරිද? පෙන්නලා දෙන්න පුළුවන්. End of the day who will be benefiting? You will be benefiting. Yes or no? Yes. But remember, this word is very important. This independent evaluation, concentrate. This independent evaluation has to be what? Has to be what? Objective evaluation. This has to be a objective evaluation. What do you mean by objective evaluation? This has to be what? This has to be a objective evaluation. What do you mean by objective evaluation? දැන් ඔයා මට පේපර් එකක් ගෙනල්ලා බලන්න දෙන එකේ මොකද්ද පරමාර්ථය? සර් මගේ අඩුපාඩු ටික හරියටම බලලා මට කියයි. කියන ඔබ්ජෙක්ටිව් එක ගෙනල්ලා දෙන්නේ. එහෙම දුන්නු ළමයෙක් මට පේපර් එකක් ගෙනල්ලා දුන්නාට පස්සේ if I am criticizing that student, is it objective evaluation? මං කියන මොනවද තමස මේ ලියලා තියෙන්නේ මෙහෙම උත්තර ලියන්න මේවද මං කියලා දුන්නේ. If I am criticizing that person in front of the students, other students, or if I am criticizing that person alone, will that be considered as objective evaluation? No, that is not an objective evaluation. Agreed? තේරුණාද? ඒතර මගේ වගකීම වෙන්නේ මං එයාට කතා කරලා කියන්නේ පුතා ඔයාගේ උත්තරේ වැරදි. මෙන්න මෙතන තමයි වරද තියෙන්නේ. but මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්නයකට you should answer like this. Agreed. If I say like that, that will be an objective evaluation. Yes or no? For an example, constructive criticisms are always welcome. Agreed? If someone is criticizing me, I'm always welcome to hear that in what you call criticism, if it is a constructive criticism. Yes or no? So that I can improve my thing. If I want, I can counter argue as well. Okay, so it has to be what? It has to be objective evaluation. So if A, concentrate, if A requested from B to have an independent evaluation of the work which they have performed, it has to be what? It has to be an objective evaluation. Clear? If B is evaluating the work done by him with the objective of criticizing him, with the objective of putting him down, it will not considered as what? Not considered as objective evaluation. Clear? So in engagement quality control review, objective evaluation is one of the key areas. Agreed? Yes or no? Okay, then the person who conducts the engagement quality control review is defined as whom? Engagement quality control reviewer. Agreed? The person who conducts this engagement quality control review is considered as whom? Considered as the engagement quality control reviewer. මේ EQCR එක කරන කෙනා තමයි අපි කතා කරන්නේ කවුරු කියලාද? Engagement quality control reviewer. Agreed? If A wanted B to take this responsibility, then B is considered as whom? Engagement quality control reviewer. If A wanted to give this responsibility to C, C will be considered as whom? Engagement quality control reviewer. If B wanted that responsibility to take on to A, in B's audit, A considered as whom? Engagement quality control reviewer. So the person who conducts the engagement quality control review is considered as whom? Considered as engagement quality control reviewer. So the objective of EQCR is to take the standards to the next level from the client perspective. Agreed? Yes or no? Clear? So for an example, if you consider this presentation is an example for what? EQCR. Yes or no? This presentation is an example for what? Example for EQCR. It will gives an additional knowledge or additional standard with regard to the lessons which we are currently discussing. Clear? Right. What do you mean by EQCR? A process designed to provide an objective evaluation. This word is very important. To provide objective evaluation. On or before the date of the auditor's report. Harini? Audit report එක කලින් මේක දෙන්න ඕන. On or before the date of the auditor's report of the significant judgments engagement team made and the conclusions which they have reached in formulating the audit report. Partner A, yes, but when you consider from the overall perspective, okay, so basically we are doing this EQCR with the objective of providing a higher quality service to the client itself. In that context, not with A, B and C, if you consider the overall firm perspective, they should protect the confidentiality. Agreed? But better if you can inform the client saying that in our audit firm itself, we will be having a process called EQCR. In that context, there is another partner or another individual who is working within the audit firm is reviewing our working papers as well. So better to give that information to the client, but not necessarily with regard to the confidentiality standard. Clear? Because it is basically more or less it's within the firm. No? So for an example, not only the engagement partner is responsible for the confidentiality, all the other partners also responsible. Clear? Yes or no? Right. Okay, are we clear up to that point? Right. You can read up to part D. You can read up to part D and highlight whatever the important points that you need to highlight. The partner or other person in the audit firm who is responsible for the audit engagement and its performance, planning and performing, and for the auditor's report. You can't issue the audit report without reviewing. තේරුණාද? Audit report issue කරනකොට review කරන්න ඕනද නැද්ද? Review කරන්න ඕන. So the engagement partner is responsible starting from A to Z. The day you commence the audit and until you issue the audit report, the engagement partner is responsible. තේරුණාද? Any questions? But the same engagement partner cannot be the engagement quality control reviewer for the same audit. Yes or no? Same engagement partner cannot be the engagement quality control reviewer for the same audit. එහෙම වෙන්න බෑ. ඒකට හොරාගේ අම්මගෙන් පේනවනවා වගේ වැඩන්නේ. Yes or no? But that engagement partner may be acting as engagement quality control reviewer for a different audit of a different partner. තේරුණාද? මම වැඩක් කළා මම හරි වැරදි බලන්න බෑනේ. මම වැඩක් කළා ඒකේ හරි වැරදි බලන්න වෙන කෙනෙකුට දීලා වෙන කෙනෙක් කරපු එක හරි වැරද්දක් මට බලන්න පුළුවන්. Yes or no? Are we clear? Agreed? So the same person who is having the responsibility as the engagement partner cannot be work as the engagement quality control reviewer of the same audit. Yes or no? So the EQCR has to be done by a separate partner. Agreed? Clear? The engagement partner who is currently handling audit can be a engagement quality control reviewer for a different audit. Yes or no? In this example, A concentrate. A is considered as the engagement partner of whom? XYZ. Okay? If A wanted B to take the responsibility of the engagement quality control reviewer, so B is considered as whom? B is considered as the engagement quality control reviewer. Of the audit of A, the client is XYZ. Agreed? If B wanted to take the same responsibility to A with regard to his audit, A is considered as the engagement quality control reviewer for the audit of M&O, where the engagement partner is whom? B. Clear? Yes or no? Yes. Any questions? Good. Okay, so the time is 12:30. I expected to complete at least this angle, individual, but materiality cost us much more than what we have expected. අපි ඉවර කරනකොට කිව්වේ 11 ඉනේ ස්ටෑන්ඩඩ් එක material level එක කරනවා. මගේ 10ට ඉවර කරන්න plan කරා. But that's okay. Okay. But we somehow completed that standard to a great extent. Clear? Any questions? So costing an additional hour, I'm okay with it because we have gone so far. Any questions? All good? Right, okay, so we'll stop for the day.